Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy GZTV back with another video, and in this video we are going to be talking about The Sopranos, and we are here to talk about the 77th overall episode, the 12th of the 6th season. Now I've found out my shirt is so fucked up. I've confirmed and found out that there are 21 episodes in the show, so we still have a little ways to go, which is great. It makes good content for the channel, so I'm probably going to be watching this all weekend. Honestly, if I really feel like it and get hyped, I might seriously consider spending my own money on that set for 2K, because the set that's coming out is absolutely insane. Like Boble, Jason Tatum, Devin Booker, I can't remember, Michael Jordan, LeBron. Like, dude, I'm probably gonna have to spend my money on that. I don't care, dude. I'm going broke, but it's like the end of the school year. But anyway, it's kind of like the mid-season finale for the first part. That's kind of what they're considering it as. We get a couple new characters here. It's a pretty dope episode, pretty solid. Obviously, I'm going to be reviewing these episodes all fucking weekend, but kind of getting into it. So, Carlo disposes of Fat Dom's head in a sewer drain in Connecticut, while Benny blows up Phil's wire room. I don't really know. A wire room's like it's a place where you accept and pay out bets on sporting stuff. So it's like a betting parlor, pretty much, but it's for personal use, I guess. So they do that out of revenge for Vito. So by chance, Phil is walking towards the place with a woman when it explodes, and they are blown onto their backs, and it looks kind of funny. It's kind of like a comical moment for the show. So at a sit-down mediated by little Carmine, Phil and Tony agree to end hostilities. They want to have a truce, However, things go wrong when Carmine thoughtlessly mentions Phil's murdered brother Billy. Phil, enraged, insults Tony and Carmine before storming off, and it just shows kind of like an immaturity, shows kind of like a prideful thing for Phil here, the fact that he went after Tony for something that Carmine mentioned, and it wasn't even something that Tony did. Obviously, it was his cousin that just got out of jail, and maybe to an extent Tony was responsible, but yeah. So Phil then discusses his next step with his capos, Gary, Butchie DeConcini, and Albie Cianflone. So I think we do meet a couple of his capos here. We're kind of getting more centered with Phil, guys, because obviously Johnny Sacks is in prison for 15 years, so he's probably not going to be a part of the show for the rest of the series. But when Phil rejects Butchie's suggestion to kill Tony, Butchie suggests picking somebody over there. You got to go after somebody. You got to get him back. This is a game of revenge here, So later, Agent Harris quietly tells Tony that his sources in the FBI are saying that someone in his organization may be in danger of retaliation by the Lupertazzi family. And that's really nice of Harris to do. That's obviously a really good gesture. I mean, obviously they're working with each other on a case, trying to get any information out of Tony that he can, and now he wants to kind of pay it back and tell Tony, hey, someone might die here, because obviously he's a part of the FBI and he doesn't want someone to die. So you're trying to tell Tony, get your people in check, make sure they're alert. So Phil has a heart attack out of nowhere. At first, Tony finds joy in his misfortune, but later surprises the New York mobsters by visiting Phil at the hospital. A really good gesture, a really good guy here for, really wholesome moment here for Tony to do this. I think that was really kind of him. Tony shares with Phil the spiritual knowledge that came to him in his coma. Again, just calling back to his coma and having these thoughts, we got to appreciate life. Tells him to take his time recovering and enjoy his grandchildren and the good things in life, and says that later there will be enough for everyone. We can all have something. We can all take over. We are crime families. We are above all else, over these people. We are pretty much superior. And he tells him that, kind of gives him some encouragement. Yeah, Phil is left emotional by the scene, silently tearing up, which is awesome. I think that was a really good scene, really cool, reconciliation between Tony and Phil, who've had their problems for a while now. So Tony completes the Jamba Juice deal and tries to revive his relationship with Juliana, only to learn that he is now Christopher's mistress, having met him at an AA meeting. This is crazy, because obviously, she mentioned to Tony that she's been going out with someone. She has a fiance. I don't know. I guess she knows that Christopher's married. That's the fucked up part. Most of these guys, Gumars or whatever they call them, know that they're married. But Someone just commented on my YouTube, "Make your bed, homie." Y'all are funny. My bad, my bad. But the two relapse into drug use, which is fucked. Telling themselves that they can integrate the drugs into their lives, they can make it work. That's obviously what every addict has to say, and that's a really good sign of it. It's obviously bad, but it's a good sign, strong sign of relapsing. Chris tells Tony and the crew he is seeing a black girl named Kaisha who he prefers not to introduce to them. Obviously, he's trying to cover up her because he knows that Tony had relations and they did this whole deal together. Eventually, he tells Tony the truth in order to prevent him from finding out that he is using drugs again. And this is kind of his cover. This is him trying to live the normal life, go back to being a regular mobster. And Tony sees this on the surface. He's like, okay, like he's doing normal things. At least he's probably not on drugs. But he doesn't know that, obviously. So Tony acts indifferent, but to Dr. Melfi, he expresses his anger that his reward for marital fidelity is Chris's relationship with the woman he desired for himself. Like, this is what I get for being a faithful man. It's a lose-lose situation. I mean, he has so much pressure on him as a mob boss. And yeah, Carmela's thinking about Adriana again because of her dream in Paris and because her mother, Liz Lacerva, has tried to kill herself in despair. Obviously, there's no hope for them pretty much to bring her daughter back. Well, she's dead, so she's not going to see her daughter again. Obviously, they think they can probably find her somewhere. She can maybe hire people. Carmela wants Tony, to hire a PI, a private investigator, to track Adriana down. He tells Silvio to lean on the building inspector so that she can work again on the spec house, and that can kind of like distract her from everything that's going on with Adriana. And yeah. So she doesn't pursue this because it's obviously going to be a dead end. It's probably going to lead to them finding the truth as well. But when the stop order is lifted, Carmela immediately realizes that it is Tony's work and thanks him profusely. Obviously, this show at the moment is like taking place like around the holidays time, which is kind of cool. I love when TV shows do holiday stuff. It's such a vibe. But she throws away the detective agency's business card. She's like, fuck this, I have my spec house. And it obviously shows some sort of like selfishness on Carmela's part, but if she knew what happened, it's not worth pursuing. And she's obviously not going to snitch on Tony. So at the construction site, AJ meets Blanca Salgado, a Dominican woman who works in the office. She is 10 years older than him and has a toddler named Hector. But fuck it, we ball, I guess. Like, Anthony just goes ham, I guess. What the fuck? This is weird. I probably should have put this in the thumbnail and the title and stuff. Like, this is weird, bro. I don't know. But on their first date, while they watch television in her apartment, a group of youths begin playing loud music outside, waking Hector, who's obviously like a 3-year-old kid, like he needs his sleep. She says her ex-boyfriend used to beat the youths, but now that he's not around, they continue to stick around and be annoying. So AJ resolves the dispute by bribing them with an expensive mountain bike given by his parents. Like, what is AJ doing, bro? He and Blanca then have sex, which is crazy. This is the first time we've seen Anthony have sex on the show. And it's kind of wild. These shows, these Hollywood people are taking a risk. We saw that with Sleepy Hollow, which we talked about today. But the Bacularis, DeAngelis, and Moltisantis join the Sopranos at their home for Christmas Eve, although Meadow has stayed in California, decided she can't come back. She's spending time with her boyfriend. AJ arrives with Blanca and Hector. Obviously, his parents welcome her, but aside, kind of murmur their reservations. They're like, okay, this is a little weird, but at least he's doing something. Carmela takes Tony's hand. The Christmas tree is piled high with gifts. Christmas music is playing. Almost the entire extended family is gathered, it seems, peacefully. And it's a really cool way, very like holiday spirited way to end the episode. But yeah, obviously we meet Blanca Salgado, who's AJ's new Dominican girlfriend. That is something I never expected because we saw her like going up and talking to Paulie while they were on the site. It's so weird that out of nowhere they just started a relationship. We also meet Butch DiConcini, who is a Lupertazzi family capo who's in favor of most aggressive action against the Jersey crime family, such as the murder of someone close to Tony or Tony himself. Acting extremely brashly, acting like a guy like Richie Aprile or like Ralphie. I can't remember his last name. But that's all I have to say. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Really good show here. We're going to see how, Juliana Skiff kind of gets around because she's an interesting character that's been here. And we'll see what Phil does in retaliation for his wire room. That'll obviously be really cool. So yeah, I'm probably going to watch an episode here.